Woodcraft, helping you make woodwork.
Here, people come in, they're late, they'll just have to catch up. My name is Bob Schmidt. I work part-time here at the Woodcraft store. And what I'm going to do today is demonstrate a technique of metalizing wood, if you will. This is not rocket science. This falls into the category of if I can do it, anybody can do it. So basically what this is, this product is from a company called Sculpt Nouveau. It's out of San Diego. And this is not metal paint per se. This is an acrylic binder, they call it, with metal powder in it. Some of the metal sprays like Rust-Oleum that you will see at Lowe's and Home Depot and so forth, somehow in the manufacturing process of that paint, they put some kind of copper-looking color or something like that in it. Those products will not react to the patina acids. These products will. And this is what we want to show you today. And I'm going to go ahead and use this little handout as kind of a guide as we go through. Again, the vendor for this is Sculpt Nouveau. Woodcraft does not carry this product, maybe yet, and we'll just kind of see where that goes. This is an excellent company to do business with. Here's a couple of products that I ordered on Monday evening, and they came yesterday. It goes that fast. This company's down in San Diego, and it's at sculptnouveau.com. And items 1 and 2 on this, especially item 2, when you get to their website, if you want to order some of this stuff, this tells you how to get the products that I'm using today. And what I'm going to be demonstrating are 3 different finishes. I've got actually 4 of them here. I don't have anything painted silver. But I have bronze, brass, and copper. That's what the brass looks like. That's what the copper looks like. And that's what the bronze looks like. Now, on this particular bowl, this green is a metal finish, but it is not a finish that will react with the patinas. This is from a company called Modern Masters, and they also carry these types of products. But I've found that Modern Masters does not work as well as the Sculpt Nouveau products. So if I sprayed a patina on this, it would not do anything. It would just sit there. So item number 2, it tells you how to order the products when you get online. The neat thing about Sculpt Nouveau is they've got a ton of stuff out there. This company got, I think, started they're in San Diego. They got started in the architectural coating business. In fact, this stuff is so durable, people paint their rain gutters with it, and they'll spray a patina on it if you really want to spiffy up the outside of your house or whatever. So this is tough stuff. Tells you how to get the patinas and the products and so forth. Number 3, Sculpt Nouveau and metal finishes work best on tight grain woods. Folks would ask, why do you just take a nice piece of wood and paint it with this stuff? Well, all of these items up here are made out of maple. And when I turned the things, and I turned all of these, for better or for worse, they have a nondescript finish to them. I mean, it's not a big deal to paint them because you're not really covering up something real spiffy. But it works best on tight grain woods. These are all turned out of maple. And oak and ash and so forth with those looser grains, it will tend to telegraph through and you'll actually see the grain of the wood. When you use these products, you don't thin them. You use them right out of the can. Got to shake them up real good. Yeah, it's the bronze. Here's a brand new bronze can. I'll show you a little tip that you can use not only with the Sculpt Nouveau products, but with the other things. There's a little seal on top, as you would expect. That's what it looks like on the inside. It's not agitated yet. What I do, and if you're like me, paint tends to jump out of cans and get on me, so that's why I have a big roll of paper here. Let's see here. Go to Big Elephant or White Elephant or a sporting goods store, someplace that sells slingshots, and you can get a little slingshot. They look like ball bearings. So what you do is you take one of these little Hummers, Drop it in there. Put the lid back on. Oh, another thing too, if you put Vaseline around this, it won't dry and you'll be able to get the lid off easier. So that's tips for other things. So once you got that in there, can you hear the thing? It's just like a can of paint. So this is how you agitate it, and you have to do this thoroughly. I would say spend a minute just doing it to make sure everything is suspended properly. What I'm going to show you today has been brushed on, and it's a technique called stippling. Basically, you're daubing the paint on. And so what you do is you apply one coat, you just paint it on, and you can maybe you can see on the inside of this brush strokes and stuff like this, and you let that dry, and then I use these real cheap chip brushes. They just happen to be available here at Woodcraft, and I use that, and I put it in there, and I start daubing it on, and I'll show you that technique here in a little bit. This is a real commercial stippling brush I got at either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. These are some stippling pads. You would dip this in the product and just do that. It's synthetic or real sea sponge. So any of these can be used to paint and daub these things on. You can also spray this stuff. As you look at this, you'll see these are textured. That's just the way the paint or the product came out of the can. You can spray these on. We just happen to have a Woodcraft spray gun here. You may have to change the needle on it to make a little bigger orifice. But instead of having this textured finish like this, it can be just real nice and smooth, okay? I have not personally sprayed the stuff on. All the things that I've done so far has been using the stippling technique. And that just reminds me of something I forgot to cover. We always talk about YouTube. For this product, YouTube is a wealth of information. I don't even use this stuff without going to YouTube and looking at some of the techniques that they do. This is just scratching the surface. They'll demonstrate putting these patinas on sheet metal where they'll heat it. They'll take a blowtorch and heat it, and then they'll spritz on this patina, and they'll get these gorgeous yellows and browns and oranges and reds and stuff. So again, that's going beyond putting this stuff on wood. Go to YouTube and look up Sculpt Nouveau. Go to YouTube, look up Sculpt Nouveau, because there's one interesting video in there. You'll see it where they take a sculptured head. It's just a bust of a guy, and they use the bronze and they put it on, and they show all these different techniques, how to wax it and do this kind of thing, putting the patinas on, and it's just neat stuff. I've tried spraying this or applying it with an airbrush, and even with the largest orifice I could find, it did not work. The product is too thick for an airbrush, so either brush it on or use an HVLP with a little, this one comes with a 1.4 millimeter orifice. You can try that. It's probably going to take a 2 millimeter, which we have over here. Next page, please. If you're just starting out with these products or this technique, I would suggest you come into the store, unless you got some in your junk box. Get some little pieces of project plywood. We sell this stuff, typically it's for scroll saws, but it's in the back of the store there. And this is great to practice on, paint this stuff. And another nice thing about this is if you mess it up, you let it dry and you just paint over it and start again until you get it right. So you got a couple sides here, you can flip back and forth and practice on plywood. When you use the stippling technique by daubing the product on there, you don't really have to worry about even sanding the product unless it's really rough. You might smooth it down to 120, 150, 180, something like that, because you're not going to see the grain telegraph through on this. Typically with these project boards, I take the product and just paint it right on here, never touch it with a piece of sandpaper. So again, it depends. If you're going to spray and you want this nice smooth finish, then yes, you're going to have to sand it, and I would go up to 400 at least. And then you might put on a little sanding sealer, hit it again with your sandpaper, just like you would do with applying like an oil finish or something like that, or pen finish. get it nice and smooth. But when you daub the product on, you don't need to worry about sanding it. Take the wood and put the stuff on. If you have some adjacent areas on the project that you're using, whether it's a bowl or a chair or whatever it is, and there's an area that you do not want to have this product soaking into the grain, seal it with some sanding sealer of some sort, some shellac, to keep it from absorbing into the pores. Yeah, number 8, to apply the finish, I use inexpensive chip brushes. That's these. This stuff is water soluble. It's non-toxic, so you can just clean this stuff up in the sink and not going to hurt anything. Before you start painting the stuff on there, this is assuming that you want to put the patina on that same day. Make sure your patina spritzer, your spray bottle, and the patina is all ready to go, and that you've adjusted the thing for what you want is a slight mist. And you'll see I brought a wastebasket in, so what I usually do is I spray it into the wastebasket just as a place to collect the drippings until I get this thing adjusted the way I want it. Now, when you buy, this company is really neat. When you get this, here's a patina, it's called light green. They also include the spray gun with it. So, and what you got to do with these spritzers, whether you buy this 97 cents at Target, pretty inexpensive. What you want to do with these is clean them with water when you're done with them, because these things they're obviously very cheaply made, and they'll have like a little spring. Any metal in here will oxidize. You do not want to use the patina around your table saw or whatever. That's what I was saying. If you want your pen patinaed, I can do that real quickly. So you want to keep these things clean. And I think I told you about 97 cents. This 8-ounce container of the metal finish is, I believe, $13. I want to give you an idea of what this stuff costs. $13. Now you can buy 55-gallon drums with this if you want to paint your house with it. So do that. If you look at the top of these, this one says metal coating brass B. In item number 2 on your handout, I told you about the class B. When you go on their website and you say, well, I want brass, so you click on that, and I want 8-ounce, you click on that, and it'll say, do you want class B or class C? What's the difference? Class C is A, more expensive, but B has a whole lot more metal powder in it. I have found that the B is sufficient for my decorative purposes. You try the C if you want, it'll work really good, but it's just going to be more expensive. About $13. This is about $13 too. For 25 bucks, you can have one color, one patina, and this goes a long, long ways. With one of those cans or those 8-ounce things, I've got 5 of these. I could probably paint both sides and still have stuff left over. So this goes quite a ways for hobbyist uses. Yeah, so make sure you have your patina ready to go before you start doing any of this stuff. Shake the metal, the thing, if you can, just go out in your driveway and find a little stone, maybe 3/8 of an inch, 1/2 inch in diameter. Make sure it's clean, toss it in there, or get a little ball bearing or something like that. It helps to have that agitator in there. And let's see, apply the first coat to the, what color you want? You want bronze, copper? Somebody tell me, what do you want to see?
Bronze.
What'd I hear?
Copper.
Copper. Okay, I hear copper. Here it is. Mandatory. Again, this stuff is non-toxic. The only reason I'm wearing the gloves, it just makes it easier for me to clean up. So